I reckon this would be good.
Maybe just take a shot. Oh, there we go. You can see us.
Yeah, you can see it.
Oh, awesome. Is my hair cut out?
Yeah, I'll pull it
a
up.
little bit higher, tiny bit higher.
Alright guys, Q&A with Chestbrah. Let's just fucking get right into this.
We're going straight into it, guys. Freezy's having a look now. We don't know what these questions are, by the way. We might have skimmed through a few, but to keep it raw, we're just going to open up the questions now and we're just going to go straight into it. I'm thinking maybe we go question by question or we answer together.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes, bro.
Alright, let's do it.
Let's not overthink things. This is going to be raw for you guys. Without further ado, you already said it all. Let's get into it. Thoughts on the fitness industry these days? Chestbrah, I'll let you lead.
Can't take this one?
Thank you. Take this one.
Okay.
We're going to be here for 20 minutes.
Shit. How long is this video supposed to be? I could talk about this all day.
It can be as long as we need, bro.
Thoughts on the fitness industry? Well, fuck. At the moment, it's a crock of shit. It really is. Like, it's just like, it's come to a point where it's so saturated that there's so many athletes out there, there's so many companies doing the same thing, and just pretty much, it's become a bit of a rat race. Like, what used to be really fun and cool a few years ago to me now has kind of become more like, you know, I still love it and it's still like, it's something that's always going to have a place in my heart, but it's just become so cringy that I don't even want to go to expos anymore, because like I see half of these posters walking around and just stupid supplement companies having comedians on their fucking stand at fitness expos.
That pisses you off, didn't it? Yeah.
EHP fucking pissed me off.
You want to talk about that? Yeah.
I did. The owners of EHP.
I can see why they.
Yeah. Well, the owner of EHP. You know, I had a chat to him and all that, and fucking the crows, man. See, even the crows aren't fucking happy. Anyway, honestly, so basically what happened, some of you may or may not know, but EHP posted a photo with Jamie Zhu, Jackson Adorty, Shami, and Superwog. Mind you, three of the people I just mentioned are actually really good friends of mine, so absolutely nothing against them at all. Like, they're good mates, they're good people, and you know, any opportunity they have to grab onto, I'll tell them to go for it, you know what I mean? But I just think it's kind of stupid when, like, you're in fitness, you're a fitness related company, and you're bringing comedians onto your stand just for the sole purpose of bringing in big numbers, which I understand. Like, I get business and all that, like we both do, like we understand. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, give the little guy a chance, you know? Like, there's all these young cunts out there that are training, that are fucking jabbing to their eyeballs, you know what I mean? Like, there is. There's people out there.
Jabbing to their eyeballs.
No, there's people out there that are like pumping themselves. That
doesn't need to be fitness.
No, there's people out there pumping themselves full of hormones, training their fucking asses off just to get a shot in the industry, you know what I mean? Just to get noticed.
But maybe that's not where the industry should be.
Obviously, that's not what I'm trying to highlight. What I'm trying to highlight is...
two different views.
What I'm trying to highlight is there's lots of people giving it their all just to get a spot in the industry. Yeah. And when it's being taken away by like comedians and like
stuff that's not actually the industry. I definitely get that. I understand
stuff that's not related to fitness. It's kind of like, fuck, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could just imagine what ituld be like if I was trying to get in the industry and I would see this kind of shit. It'd be very discouraging. You know, it'd be discouraging as fuck. Yeah. So, and you know, with that being said, like I said, Jackson and Shami and Jamie and all those boys, like, they're very good mates of mine. But I just think that, you know, if you're gonna stay in the fitness industry, keep it fitness related.
Yeah.
That's it really.
A couple of those boys train a little bit though, yeah?
Jamie trains, Jackson trains, and Shami trains. They all train. I wouldn't know about Superwog, but like, yeah, I mean, they train, but like, they don't train like we do, and they don't train to promote fitness or to encourage fitness among their followers. They're more that they just train for the hell of it. We actually make a living out of it. We actually give something back in terms of fitness to our fans, to our followers, to all you guys that watch all our shit. It's like, you know, if you're a comedian, stick to the comedy expo, the comedy festival. You know, don't come stepping on our turf, which is fitness. Like, that's our
turf, motherfucker.
That's our turf. You know, that's our shit. That's what we do. You know.
Yeah.
If you're a comedian, stick with comedy. Stick within your industry. But then again, it's no skin off my nose, and it's no detriment to Jackson, Jamie, Shami, and all those boys.
So I guess
take the opportunity, but it's more reflects on the companies themselves, like
yeah, and obviously it affects the industry, and I mean,
of course.
What the guy was he was saying that trying to open fitness up to normal people. That was,
well, the owner of EHP, and you know what? I mean, I'm not one to disclose personal conversations, but fuck it, since he had the pleasure of hanging up on me on the phone without finishing a normal conversation man to man, I'll tell you guys what happened.
That's some controversy.
I'll tell you guys what happened. The owner of EHP gave me a call and discussed with me this over the phone, and to my surprise, like, he was really defensive, trying to justify his reasons for everything he's doing. I'm just like, bro, why are you telling me, like, you are the owner of EHP, like, this is your company, why are you trying to justify what you're doing to me? Like, this is just my opinion, you know, like, other people might think differently than me. Like, why does my opinion affect you so much? And to be honest,
Yeah.
bro, like he broke out crying midway through convo.
Yeah.
He broke out crying midway through convo, and I wouldn't be posting this if he had the actual respect to talk to me during that convo. But all he did was try to bait me with like some bullshit about you and ZYZZ, fucking, you know how you guys started all this new shit. It's like, you know, he's just trying to bait me using that kind of pull.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, cool, man. Like, and then I'm trying to talk to him, and he just hangs up midway through crying. He hanged up the phone, and I didn't hear back from him.
Deep, eh?
So, you know, I mean, I think it's kind of funny. I wouldn't have otherwise mentioned this convo, but you know, if he's going to show me that disrespect of hanging up on the phone to me like that, I think people should get an idea of what kind of, you know, scummy people are in the industry.
So that, I mean, yeah, my thoughts on the fitness industry. Like, this is good to like get the camera out and just open up on the shit, because you guys know I used to do lots of vids where it's kind of what no one talked about and stuff. But and obviously, Chesty's been, how long have you been around in this for?
Like, the fitness industry, 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because him and his brother, obviously, they're at the forefront years ago before it was even
mainstream.
Like mainstream. Yeah. So you've seen the changes of it, and obviously.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and I've seen.
Obviously,
like,
it is going to change, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things it's controversial.
Very controversial, and you know what? You guys might not agree with what I'm saying. I might get another call from a bunch of other people angry with what I'm saying, but you know, I honestly at this point I really don't give a fuck. I'm just saying my opinions. Like, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. All I would just want is just for people to hear like our opinions.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's interesting with the fitness industry now, guys. Obviously, it's always been, there's been that business side of it with people making money, and obviously businesses need to make money and stuff. But
which we understand.
Yeah,
like, we do the same thing. We do the same thing.
That's always going to be the top priority. So maybe an expo or something is not a representation of what's actually at the core, like fitness and. You know, supplement companies, obviously they want to sell it, all the shit, and make money, and
it's just become a numbers game.
It's gonna take over. But it's like that in any industry, I think. Like, money rules everything, unfortunately.
It's just a shame when it hits so close to home.
Yeah. I guess you're really affected by this.
You know, it's our industry. It's like we see it happening. It's like, fuck. We see it happening in like other industries everywhere. It's just like, oh shit, I didn't think it'd get this bad with us. You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Nice.
Question 2. Let me
get it out, mate.
This one's for me. Ready? I'm gonna go in my inbox now. I'm gonna find any questions you guys have asked, and these are straight from my inbox, so I haven't had a chance to read them, nothing at all, as you can see. I'm just gonna open up one right now. Freezy, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What types of shades are those?
Were you wearing yours or mine?
I have no idea what types of shades,
before,
but I mean, yours are pretty cool.
Chesty was wearing these, he kind of suits them a bit more than me.
Mine are kind of like aviators, so a bit of a swap. Ready? No homo. We getting it.
This video's getting douchey already, I like it.
I feel like a douchebag right now. Well, there's your question solved, bro. I don't know what types of shades these are.
Yeah, aviator
and yes,
type
I know, I look like a sick cunt, thank you very much.
Best snack throughout the day when you are wanting to bulk but don't have time to make 4 to 5 meals a day. I guess depending on your macros, if you're obviously a skinnier person, you can be smashing more like peanut butter and shit. That peanut butter is quite good to get your
best
calories
snack
up.
For me, I'd say probably bananas.
Yeah. Easy stuff, bananas, peanut butter, right?
Peanut butter, yeah. Peanut butter, bananas. No respect these days. It's just like, fuck.
Here's one for you, Chesty.
Go on. Riddle me.
Has Jailbait Warrior ever resurfaced Chestbrah from back in the day? We were just talking about this before.
We were just talking about this before camera.
This is OG, if you guys know who Jailbait Warrior is.
Break it down! Woo!
Yeah, so me and Haroon, we had a conversation actually on Facebook about 6 months ago. I actually hit him up and I sent him a message. I'm like, hey bro, like no hard feelings for the past. You know, it's been like 6-7 years. I just actually wanted to say that I think you're a funny cunt and you should get back
because he used to do videos calling you out, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because I used to watch them all.
You need to get off my dick, bro.
Haha, says the guy covering his bone with his fucking laptop.
And you know what? It's so hard to hate on someone who's so fucking funny, even if he's paying you out.
So even back then, like when you guys had a bit of beef, but you secretly
I kind of liked him. I'm like, fuck, I hate him, but like he's a funny cunt. It's like, and it's really hard to hate on someone that makes you laugh.
It's funny because I used to watch his vids and like, dude, to be honest, I was probably on his side because I didn't know you personally.
Yeah, no, I feel you. He was quite the funny man.
And I think back then you were quite awkward in front of the camera. You were like, you didn't.
I've had a bit of practice. That's why they fucking call me Chestbrah, cunt. You see that?
You've had a bit of more practice now. You feel more comfortable in your skin, I think, these days.
In regards with Jailbait Warrior, yeah. So I hit him up on Facebook, and we just had a little chat. You know, he's working like an office job, just living like normal.
Any of you guys remember Jailbait Warrior? Comment below. Obviously, me and Chesty have been around for. I know I was kind of getting into this like 7 years ago, so this is probably old school. There's probably a lot of new guys here.
Yeah, they're probably like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They don't know much of the history.
For those of you that actually don't know, we're going to chuck up a link on the screen right now. Jailbait Warrior on YouTube, if you guys don't know who he is. He's one of the OGs. Quite the funny cunt, and yeah, it's a shame he's not around with us now because you know he was a great guy.
My pay, man! We look shit! Get the fuck out!
And you just need need to grow up, man.
It's interesting because back, like, let's say 7 years ago, guys, when we were getting into this, there was no promise of making money from this, like making a decent living, like...
None at all. It was just
like
awful shits and giggles.
It was like, yeah, like, and your brother was at the forefront of bringing it into, like I got in shape because of your brother. No shit, I just saw him.
I think a lot of us have, you know what I mean?
I discovered him, I think,
to be honest, like, I feel like 99.9% of the industry have in some ways taken some ideologies from him or been inspired by him in one way or another. Even if they didn't like him, if they didn't like what he stood for, I feel like everyone can learn a lesson from ZYZZ.
Yeah.
One way or another. I feel like everyone can learn something from him.
It's interesting, right? Like, a lot of people, when someone's that controversial in the way they're doing things, it's so breaking the status quo that it's easy to have a negative opinion. But for me, like, I saw that and I was inspired by that. I was like, here's a guy who can do shit, not give a fuck, and you can, like, that's the positive that you can take from it. Sure, there's always going to be shit you can disagree with. But probably same about Chestbrah here, guys.
You gotta look at the positives, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many negatives we could pull out from each and every one of us, but like, why not take the negatives and just push them aside for a second and actually take the good things that we do and learn from that, you know what I mean? Because we're not perfect. Yeah, I'll do so much fucked up shit. I'm sure you do so much fucked up shit.
It's good to see someone who can just like put what other people won't put it out there. Like, you know,
be
like
themselves.
Rich Piana. Yeah. You know, like RIP.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Stuff like that. That's what kind of like really educates people or opens minds up, creates discussion, makes life interesting.
A lot of this stuff, like, you guys don't really see, you know what I mean? Like, you see these clean-cut poster boy images of the fitness industry and, you know, what you should and shouldn't follow, but like, the people that are actually more real and actually show you everything, like, you know, the good and the bad.
They're easy to hate, but you can learn more from them.
Very easy to hate,
you can learn more from them. Remember that, guys.
So much to learn.
Braden Birch, what was some of the challenges you boys faced with starting a fitness clothing line? In the early stages, what was some of the mistakes you guys made and what have you learned about business now? I'd say the first thing is like getting your supplier on lock. You need to get that on lock. Even last year, man, like, I should have been outsourcing a lot more. Like, the last 5 years, even still, like, I'm learning to streamline processes and make things more efficient. I think, I don't know, when you started, it's just casual, right? Because we never started to make like heaps of money and make a massive, well, personally, I didn't start to fucking, make a crazy business. I just started because I enjoyed like wearing the clothes.
Me too. You know? I mean, I started because like I've always had like an interest in fashion. Yeah. And like looking nice, dressing nice, looking good.
You started when your brother passed though, yeah? Like that was
4 years after.
Yeah. So it was quite a while after, obviously keep his legacy going and.
To be honest, the clothing line was more something I've always wanted to do for myself. It wasn't so much tied with the legacy, but I mean, it kind of all encapsulates within one, because a lot of the stuff that I do release, I do it in memory of him. So like the ZYZZ related clothing, like anything that's kind of like reminds us of him. It's like kind of like my way of giving back to the fans, so they can wear something to remember, like, you know, the guy who fucking inspired them to do what they do today, you know. But for the majority part, I mean, my clothing's is just like yours. I've got streetwear, I've just got normal wear. It's like some of it relates nothing at all to me and ZYZZ. It's just it's just shit that I like to wear and that I want.
And you got the brand, so
that I just want you people to wear. But I mean, in terms of facing any troubles, man, like it's not easy. It's like any other full-time job, you know what I mean? Like, you guys might think like it's all a walk in a park and like we're not really doing much and this and that, but behind the scenes, like, there is quite a lot of headaches with chasing orders, you know, troubleshooting, finding the right suppliers, sourcing like good material, good quality material, making sure the suppliers don't.
Have you ever done like you've got samples and then and then you do a big order, or if you get a good sample and then you do a big order and the sample's not consistent with it?
I'll tell you a funny story. I actually paid for, I'm not sure if you guys may or may not have remembered, I had these hoodies designed. Remember they're sculpted like the gods? No. Well, I had these hoodies sculpted like the gods of Mount Olympus.
I don't know when that cut off. I don't know. Sometimes like, if it's filmed too long, it stops. He got lots of sculpted like the gods hoodie, and they came back sculpted like the goods. So that's the last thing you want when you want
sculpted like the goods. Like, how am I gonna sell this?
Anyway, okay, there's a lot of, I mean, what have you learned from business now? Like, for me, to look more at the numbers, I don't know, Chestbrah, you probably still like run yours more like a hobby.
Yeah, it's more like just...
For me now, like, I used to do that. I'm trying to expand more into a business because I want longevity from mine and really get cracking on the numbers. I used to ignore the numbers a lot in my business, but that's something that I'm not doing anymore, and that's kind of what I've really learned. Will you ever compete again? Have you ever competed?
I've done one competition,
I think I remember seeing photos. It was men's physique?
Men's physique about 3-4 years ago in IFBB, men's open.
How did you find that experience?
To be honest, it was a pretty good experience. I really enjoyed it. Just everything from the comp prep and all that. I mean, it was quite was quite damaging actually to me in terms of like my relationships around me. It affected my relationship with a long-term girlfriend at the time, which saw an end to that because the dieting and the trading and all that really made me lose my head a little bit, and I kind of like went off the rails, and my friends kind of separated from me a little bit because I was a bit like very like eye on the prize, and even my family saw the changes that was like going on in me. I was like, I don't know, like it was a cool experience and all, but I feel that because of all the stress it put on me and on my life, that it would be something that I'd really have to like extremely consider doing again. It'd be for like a big purpose. It wouldn't just be for the hell of it, you know?
I feel like I'm the same as well. Competing is like a huge sacrifice. Yeah. So if your main goal is like, if it's everything to you, you gotta do it and try it, because you regret it if you don't. Even if you kind of want to, it's probably worth doing it, like just at least to see what it's like.
Just do it at least once.
You learn your body so well when you actually have a show to get ready for.
Oh, exactly.
The amount of times, like nowadays, I'll try diet, but or like do something for a goal, which I'm like, oh, I want to get in shape, but it's not defined. When it's like you're stepping on stage on that day, that's defined.
You know what you got to do.
You got to do everything together.
That's it. For anyone out there who wants to compete or has like thought about competing, just know that like it isn't easy and it is a long process, and definitely should give it a shot before you completely rule it out.
Do you always smoke weed from bad kids?
Do you use?
I don't smoke weed, but you smoke weed too?
I smoke weed quite a bit, yeah.
How do you find it affects you? Like, you enjoy it, like it relaxes you, or?
To be honest, like my anxiety is like naturally kind of like high. So when I smoke weed, I find it slows me down a lot, and it makes me more relaxed and just more in tune with like the people around me and my surroundings. Like it actually, it's quite therapeutic for me. It's just it chills me out a lot, as opposed to all the stimulants I used to do back in the day. I think weed is actually quite.
It's like quite
the amazing substance. Yeah, definitely, 100%.
See, for me, like it does the opposite. Weed has the opposite effect. So it's something to be aware of. Like everything affects everyone differently. But Chestbrah reckons if I smoked more of it, that I'll get used to it.
Oh, you'd enjoy it, yeah, for sure.
It's not for me, man. Like personally, I don't need that in my life. If you guys know I smoke cigars, and that kind of does the same thing for me. It relaxes me. I get anxiety quite a lot. And me and Chesty were talking about this before. It's like, for me, I know if I'm really stressed or anxious about something like business or like some shit's going wrong in my life, a cigar will mellow everything out and kind of put things in perspective. Weed does that for you, yeah?
Yeah, weed does that, yeah. Just chills me out, keeps me level-headed, I'd say.
Callison says, Freezma, ask him if he is mad because his girlfriend is natty and leaner than him.
Not mad, just Myron.
Yeah,
straight Myron. She's a fucking little machine. Straight Myron.
Chestbrah's girlfriend, guys. You guys saw her in the last video.
She's a little weapon, yeah. She's a weapon.
What the fuck, man? She like diets pretty intense.
She diets pretty hard, and she trains pretty well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no hate at all, just straight Myron. I wish I could be like that, eh?
Yeah, dude. Fucking know.
Next question, you ready for this one, Freezy? Will Gym Steez be more widely sponsoring athletes in the near future?
Yeah, me and Chesty were talking about this today. It's one of those things, like, it's hard right now. A lot of athletes are taken. The amount of people I've hit up over the past 3 years, because I don't know, I'm pretty particular with who I want to be associated with the brand.
You kind of have like an image.
I've hit people up in the past, and then like the next week they're signed by fucking Alpha Lead or fucking Gymshark. Like, no shit. It's happened to me a lot.
Just like, I mean, for anyone that remembers, I used to have 3 athletes under my name too, and obviously, like, we can only offer so much as athletes with a clothing brand than bigger companies.
Obviously, bigger companies can just chuck money at people, and that's something that we don't really have, like, compared to fucking something like Gymshark.
Yeah, of course. So basically,
like millions and millions.
It all comes down to whether we want to get athletes on board, knowing that they're gonna fucking jet off soon if they get a better deal, or if we're just gonna keep doing it,
right? Yeah.
Because it makes us look bad, you know what I mean? Like, I want to have people that represent my brand that stick around and like stay there for the image and like what it's like, what the sole core of like what I stand for, what I do. If I sign people, I wouldn't want them to leave to get a better deal somewhere else just because of money, you know what I mean? So to me, it's like, it's a really touchy issue.
Yeah, okay.
If I would have athletes under me and they would leave, even though it's all business,
it's funny, right?
I would feel really affected by it.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened with you and Carlton, remember?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for
there you
sure,
go.
Dude. Like, it's hard because it's when your business isn't like a big multi-million-dollar company with lots of people employed. It's like you take things really personally.
Yeah,
and like I do with and that's something like you either got to make that choice whether you're gonna keep it business or casual, and maybe it means more, or it gets like that. And I've seen behind the scenes, like I've talked to people like like Randall owns Live Fit. Like you hear stories of bad shit like with athletes. But some people can get pretty messy, but you'd never see that.
Honestly, I think we both experienced it, that it got messy.
Yeah,
three of my athletes fell out for like bigger, better deals because other companies offer them more money.
And it kind of gets hard as well when you've helped give them exposure.
It's very discouraging. You know what I mean? It's like I like to try to preach like don't bite the hand that feeds you. You know, if anyone gives you an opportunity of any sort, and you know you're the little guy, always respect who gives you that opportunity. Always be grateful for anyone that gives you that opportunity to expand yourself and further yourself.
I guess,
you know what I mean?
and there's like a way to do it as well.
Of course, there's a wrong way and there's a right way.
Communication, I think, is key.
Definitely. Will you have future athletes? What do you think?
For sure. I'm just trying to right now get the business
we're not
back
ruling out having future athletes. It's just something that if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
I'm particular as well, and like obviously right now, guys, like gym season has been down for a few months, so I'm just getting things back up and running. Someone said, "How tall are you really?" Since Freezma is around 5'11".
Honestly, let's stand up. I think
it won't be on camera. Like they'll see our hips, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, true.
How tall are you, Chesty?
Well, in shoes I'm 5'11", barefoot I'm 5'10". I don't know why everyone seems to think I'm like 5'6" or 5'7".
Yeah.
I'd say I'm a solid 5'10" to be honest.
I'm 6 foot with shoes.
I'm probably about one.
But I never say 6 foot with shoes. But...
No.
Yeah.
I always say my height with shoes.
Manu said, Chestbrah, how do you stay shredded year round?
Honestly, it's just like it's a combination of like a whole bunch of things. Clean diet, consistency, and the right performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
So everything has to obviously play their role. Like, you know, if you're doing the performance enhancing drugs but you're not eating clean and you're not being consistent, so you're skipping workouts, then you're not really.
If you want to get the most out of it, you gotta.
Yeah, I mean,
you find naturally.
Let's just put it this way. I'm 32 years old. Yes, there's lots of things that go into keeping my physique, but the most important ones, like I said, is you got to be consistent. Your diet's got to be on point, and obviously drugs plays a big role in how you look as well, because as we know, naturally as you get older, your metabolism begins to slow down. It's a lot harder to stay lean year round. So diet is the key, especially like you have to be on point with your diet. Like just this morning, like I made Freezy a breakfast at mine. I made like fucking steamed chicken with like white rice and sweet potatoes and spinach, and I try to keep it super clean with my diet these days, because I notice that even if I splurge for a day or two, it affects my physique dramatically.
Yeah.
Even if I'm on performance enhancing drugs, it still affects how I look, which is why I can bounce up and down so quickly in body fat percentages. So I feel diet, consistency, and PEDs.
Elaborate more on the PEDs. Is that peptides?
PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've never heard that term.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
By the way, guys, these are all great questions. I'm actually really enjoying this.
Yeah, it's good to give Chestbrah more of a platform and opportunity to speak more, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys haven't actually heard me speak normally. You just hear me like trolling and talking shit.
Yeah, exactly. You're in the car.
So you don't really fucking sick cunt, fuck Moran, but like you never really hear me speak. So I mean, it's kind of cool.
There's a deeper human in there.
It's kind of cool. I can engage with you guys like this. Yeah.
What's your favourite protein source? Dawson Crown.
Chicken.
I like steak, personally.
Steak.
Salmon as well. I love salmon. Yeah. How long have you guys been training for, and what age do you reckon it's okay to start? I reckon it's okay to start from 12.
Honestly. Younger
the better. The younger the better, honestly. I wish I
12,
started
13, 14. If I could have started then, I would have started then. There is no real age of like...
What time did you start? Like, how old were you when you started training? You're probably older, right?
Did your
brother get you into it?
No, I actually started first.
Oh, you started first?
I started first. Are you talking
Most
about...
people wouldn't know that.
Are you talking about training when we first started training, or like when we went hard out with our training and took our training seriously?
I mean, both. Elaborate.
Okay, so I started training at about 18 years of age, but I don't really count the ages from 18 to 21 due to the fact that it was a lot of fucking around and I was drinking lots of alcohol. And by training, I would train maybe like once or twice a week, and I'll do full body circuit for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really classify that as training per se, but yeah, I got into the gym at 18, but my proper like 5-day split training, all your meals and all that crap started at about 21.
What made you and your brother get into it? Obviously when I started training, it really inspired me to get into that crazy shape and take my training seriously.
Yeah.
Obviously you were there with him. Who inspired you guys? Because I looked to him. Who did you guys look to?
Back then we didn't really have like anyone to look up to that we could kind of draw similarities
from. The internet wasn't like what it is now.
No, not
there was no Instagram, like you'd follow shredded people and stuff.
And there was like no one we could really look at that would draw similarities like from ourselves, that we can be like, oh fuck, this guy's kind of like us. So we'd just look at like the classic bodybuilders like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane, and we'd seek inspiration from like famous movie actors like Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sly Stallone, and we'd look at these guys and be like, fuck, like these guys look awesome, great physiques. And I guess that's kind of where we drew our original inspiration from.
Yeah,
movie stars and bodybuilders. I mean, now you guys have such like, there's so many platforms and there's so many fucking, there's so many guys out there look incredible. Like there's sources of motivation and inspiration everywhere you look, not just from super famous people. You know,
it's crazy. And I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty like cool. More people in the world now probably have better physiques and train more
than 10 years ago. Yeah,
it was weird. Like, was it weird when you were getting into training 10 years ago? It would have been kind of stigmatized, and like fitness wasn't huge in mainstream.
It was completely different back then. So fitness back then, if you were to tell people, oh, I do bodybuilding as a hobby, people are like, oh, okay, you want to do a comp in a G-string on stage, and you want to look like this guy, and they'll show you a picture of like Ronnie Coleman or Arnold Schwarzenegger. There was no word. The word aesthetics didn't even exist 10 years ago. I can't remember anyone saying aesthetics 10 years ago. And I guess the whole shift in nature in the fitness industry really, and I say this fucking with all my heart, really comes down to Aziz. He was the catalyst for the change in the fitness industry, and he was what prompted this massive difference that we see today. I mean, what's your take on it? What do you think?
Definitely, man. I found out about ZYZZ 3 weeks after he passed away. And then I was just like, oh, what the fuck, who is this guy? And I watched all his videos, and I couldn't believe that he was gone. It just
draws you in, you know?
It just drew me in, exactly. And before that though, I was training, I don't know, from probably Dragon Ball Z, like when I was young, like I wanted to, that's what first got me in the gym.
That's pretty
But then there was no, obviously it's like cartoon characters, where's the relation in that? So I used to look at people like Ronnie Coleman and shit, and then I discovered your brother, and then I was like, fuck, I'm gonna take this shit. That's when I dieted, when I saw him and I saw his abs.
I remember your ZYZZ tribute video, I still remember seeing that one where you go down the escalators and you're doing the pose.
Actually, that's right,
And I remember seeing that, and I'm like, this guy's a funny cunt, but I never met you. And then when I met you, we clicked straight away. It was pretty cool.
Ben Gleason, thoughts on jumping into online coaching straight off the boat and not coaching people in physical fitness center after getting your cert 3 and 4?
Good question.
Because he's saying obviously online coaching is a massive trend these days. Personally, man, honestly, I think you're better to get in the gym and start and build it physically. Like if I was to do my shit all over again, we got probably pretty lucky in terms of online coaching because we built our followings when there wasn't money to be made, and now it's pretty saturated. It's hard. There's a lot of people who like,
I would say don't put eggs all in one basket, so definitely get on the gym floor.
If I was to be
as hands-on as possible, while at the same time trying to pursue the online training as well.
100%, because you're better to, I think, start in the gym if you don't have that following for sure, and build your clients in person, like, get transformations in person, and then you can slowly transition to online.
Exactly. Like,
I wouldn't just.
Why would you limit yourself when you're
limiting yourself. So that's another thing, even with gyms, these guys. I haven't worked a job for 6 years. Or like maybe since I started. I used to scoop ice creams at Movenpick after uni. But I got lucky. I was only doing that so I could get a loan for a car I wanted, because I couldn't get the loan without a good, like a source of income that was guaranteed. But I got lucky before that because I sold bodybuilding stringers in New Zealand, and they just took off. I was making $2,000 a week right off the bat coming out of uni. I got lucky, you know. But now looking back, I wish that I had more of a business brain. I would have actually worked hard on a job as well and got more of an income that I could live off, and then reinvest everything back into my businesses. That's what I've learned like 6 years later. I just haven't really done that. I reckon even for the last 3 or something years, like I should have been doing some stuff in the gym, like something that's guaranteed and set just to pay my living expenses. Because even last year, guys, I was taking too much money from my businesses, and you want to like build that a bit of to be honest,
Freezy, like I'm even actually thinking of going back doing face-to-face PT.
Yeah,
just for like a few hours a week, just because I actually enjoyed doing it back in the days, you know. So I wouldn't mind giving that a shot again, just you know, just to.
And I feel like you can never beat like a personal connection and working with someone like in person, right? The online coaching thing's really cool and stuff, but Ben, I'd say get in the gym, bro.
Who could snort the most coke in a night?
It'd definitely be you. I wouldn't stand a chance.
You're right about that. Great question. That was from Caleb Hillside. Here's a good one. What would you tell your 20-year-old selves? Go train some legs, faggot. Before they get even smaller. And calm down on your chest, it's already massive. Train everything else. Yeah,
you're one of those guys
wrap your willy up. Like, there's like so many sleuths out there, just wrap it up. Don't be silly, wrap your willy. Oh yeah, and one more thing, like I said before, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you're 20 years old and you've got all these goals and plans and aspirations, tackle them all head on. Like, don't leave any, you know, stone unturned. Like, make sure you cover everything, because time is something you can't get back. And the last thing you want to do is reach our age and be like, fuck, like there's all these things I wanted to accomplish, but I haven't done. And
do you feel like that? Do you feel like that's happened to you?
Not at all.
No,
I feel like I've done everything I've set my mind to and everything that I've wanted to do, and there's all these future goals that I've got lined up. So I feel like I'm on a really good track to do everything I wanted to do.
That's good.
What about yourself? What would you say?
With me, I'd say definitely opportunities to double down on them, and when something's doing really well, to double down on that and keep pushing it, keep smashing it. And because that's what I haven't done. I've had so many opportunities, Jesse, and I've taken them for granted because I'm like, oh, there'll always be another one, like it's fine. Just being casual, and when things have been going really well, I've gotten lazy and complacent.
I feel like I said, time is something we can't get back, and I feel like this whole fitness thing isn't going to be forever.
Yeah.
You know, we may ride out like 5 years, 10 years, but end of the track, like
it'll always be around, but to the point where it's getting pretty saturated.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a forever kind of thing, unless you're fucking Arnie or someone, you know. But you know, that's not to say that, you know, you guys.
It's not to say you can't, like,
of course,
make a good living and stuff from it for the rest of your life, but
just don't put all your eggs in one basket.
I'd agree with that. It's almost like, I don't know, guys, if you ever get into anything like stocks, crypto, investing or anything, you build a portfolio. There's lots of parallels within, like, I don't know, we've kind of been in the crypto a little bit, HSC, and that you realize, what I've realized personally,
goddamn fucking Bitcoin,
to spread out more over like different sources of investments and stuff, it's like better than having all your eggs in one basket.
I agree.
Nice glasses.
He's a son, he's cool, bro.
Yeah, they actually say,
I like him.
I gotta make sure he doesn't steal them. Do you guys plan on staying in Australia for a long time? Yeah, I think I'll be here. Actually, eventually I want to go back to New Zealand, probably like when I retire and stuff. Not retire, but when my business is big enough to step away from it. I definitely want to.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Would you stay in Australia for a long time? Like, is that?
I mean, Australia's my home. I don't really see myself relocating anywhere else. I do quite a lot of traveling and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sydney is where I call home, so I see myself staying here for quite a while.
Joe Windsor, what would either of you two be doing if you had nothing to do with the fitness industry? Not if we dropped it now, but like if we, you know, growing up, what your path would have been.
I mean,
what were you doing before?
I was doing accounting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right?
Yeah, I was studying accounting at uni.
Yeah.
And I mean, I went to University of Western Sydney, and I've got a double degree in business operations management and marketing. So I'm guessing I would have probably did something there, white collar job, office, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Pretty stock standard, boring life.
Nice.
That would have been me.
Yeah.
What about you?
At school, I wanted to be an architect. I really wanted to be an architect, and then the more I kind of like looked into it, I realized I didn't want to be an architect.
Instead of designing homes, you design clothes, huh?
Pretty much, But no, like for real, like the next thing after
Puff is gonna puff, bro.
The next thing after architecture, I wanted to do videography. I actually wanted to be a movie director.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, bro, your editing's like pretty fucking
technically
pretty
like
cool.
I'm kind of living the dream now.
It's pretty cool. Like, I mean,
movies.
I've always wanted to kind of do what you do with like making
videos
videos and editing. I just don't know how to edit and make videos. So
yeah,
it's a pretty cool skill you got, bro.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Like, obviously, if you realize you're good at something and you like something, to just do it.
And again,
that's why I make these videos, because I love it.
Like guys, like I implore you guys to like explore this part of your creative selves. You know, if you really want to get foot into the industry, like we said, cover all angles. Like social media, YouTube videos is a big part of it. You know what I mean? Not just looking good on Instagram and all that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's an interesting one, right? Because the industry right now is the Instagram is huge, and like looking a certain way, and people are actually, even if they're shit cunts or whatever, they're building massive followings just from the way they look, which is crazy.
Even just their personality, to be honest. Like,
and they
don't need to like necessarily need to look the best. If they've got like a personality that's interesting, then people are like, fuck, like, you know, what's this guy all about? So
yeah, I mean, that's the thing with like with YouTube, that's where that comes into play, because you can show more than obviously photos. Instagram's it's cool that there's stories on Instagram now, you can show more personality, but it's crazy how many people are successful just from the way they look.
I've got a question for you.
That blows my
Freezy.
mind. Yeah.
If you had to choose between being forever financially stable without having to work a single day, or having no side effects from one 16-week cycle, what would be your stack of choice?
Sorry, what?
He's not making much sense, is he, Mark Sorial?
No, he's just assuming that I've gone with the second option.
I think Freezy's done with the steroid thing. I think he'd probably choose to be financially stable. That's, as a mate, I'm guessing that. Am I right?
For sure.
Okay. Well,
how could a 16-week cycle that went well outweigh
financial stability for the rest of your life? Silly question.
Silly question, but I guess for some people,
some people would rather do a cycle and get juicy gains.
Yeah.
then be financially stable.
Did you get much gains, can I ask, when you didn't get involved in steroids?
I did actually.
Yeah?
I trained naturally for about 3-4 years before I ever decided to hit anything.
Yeah,
and
because you were skinny as fuck, eh?
I was skinny as fucking all shit, bro. Even with that, I still managed to get quite like a decent physique naturally.
You just would have been a lot smaller, right?
I guess so. I mean, I think if I didn't do steroids up until now, I still would look the same, but it just would have taken me a much longer time frame to get to where I was, and I might not be as like a lean year round, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in terms of size, I think my size quite attainable naturally.
Yeah.
But
even for you, how skinny? You were skinny, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to gauge because it was such a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do feel like it has helped a big role in my physique and shaping my physique, but at the same time, I feel that, you know, even if I didn't do it, I still would have got the results I did. It just, like I said, I just would have had to. It would have taken a much longer time frame.
Yeah.
And a much more strict diet, but
yeah,
you know, I would have got there in the end.
Yeah. Have you found there's been much side effects from like your performance enhancing drug use?
Well, let's see. I've got a full head of hair. I don't have any pimples. Still fucking nice, you know. I think I look good. Only side effect is probably just looking amazing, bro.
Do not listen to Chestbrah, guys. He is a bad role model.
I am. Like I said before, don't follow everything I do. All right, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Jackson says, does Sid live on the GC now?
I don't live on the Gold Coast. My girlfriend lives here, so we do back and forth visits between Sydney and Gold Coast while we're in the transition period of moving in together.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty fucking awesome because every time I come up here, you know, I get to see all my mates, I get to see you, I get to see people I don't normally get to see. Yeah. And it's like always like having a little mini holiday, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoy it. I think it's my turn to ask you, man. Do you guys ever drink alcohol? And if so, how do you incorporate it into your macros?
How often would you drink?
Fucking very rarely, bro. Honestly, I don't drink that often.
Yeah.
I've never been like much of a
drink.
I used to when I was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
But then after that, it never really took off with me. I was never really big on alcohol.
Yeah.
Like the only times I drink, like normally, is just like New Year's and maybe my birthday, maybe once or twice a year. Yeah. Once or twice a year, I'll get absolutely smashed, and the rest, not at all. So in regards to the second part of that question, how do we incorporate it into our macros? To be honest, I've encountered macros since I was fucking 23 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I just go by how I'm feeling and looking with my diet. To be honest, I don't really bother too much with counting macros and all that jazz.
Do you think are you happy with your physique right now and like your size and everything?
For my age and where I'm at, I'm pretty fucking happy. Yeah. I mean, there's always room for improvement. Yeah. And there's things that I want to bring up.
It's an interesting one because you're always like same with me.
Yeah. And, I mean, we're never truly going to be happy without.
It's always like. I mean, no, but you can learn to be, because you can always be bigger and stuff.
But bigger isn't always better.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
It's like if you can be
like,
happy.
How many bigger guys are there than us? But like, you know, but how many bigger guys have the proportions that we do? You know what I mean? Yeah. At our finest. So it's not really a competition of who's the bigger. But I mean, in terms of like my physique, I mean, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. Obviously, there's a few changes that I want to make, and that's always going to be like a lifelong journey to me.
What's that? Legs?
Calves, for sure. A bit of hammies and forearms. I mean, I could be really, really critical if I want to be, but all in the gist of things, I'm quite happy with my physique.
A lot of the time now, are you training just because you like training?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. It's not like I'm gonna fucking grow my triceps are lagging or my biceps are a bit. No, it's just like I train because I love it, and I mean, I'm still getting results now, so. Yeah. Someone said, what would ZYZZ look like if he was still alive today? Fuck.
He'd look pretty good, probably.
He'd look pretty amazing.
Maybe he would have just retired and gotten fat.
We never know.
He probably never would have.
Maybe he would have gone full beast mode, full bodybuilder. Maybe he could have stopped bodybuilding. Maybe he would have. Who knows? Yeah. It's just like one of those questions. It's like, I guess it's just like open for interpretation. Yeah. I mean, I think he would have stayed in fitness, and I think he would have veered away from the whole mass monster look. I think eventually he would have just settled in.
Because he was getting quite big, when.
Yeah, I think eventually he would have settled about being around 90, 95 shredded and just gone for that aesthetic look.
How big did he get? What was his heaviest?
The heaviest he got was, I think, 100 kilos, 101. Yeah. And that was at around 6'1.5" his height.
That's crazy. His transformation, bro.
Oh, it's just fucking ridiculous. To think that he did it in 3 years, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years. Yeah. Like, no one has done that in 3 years.
Did he train naturally for a bit and then or was he like straight into it?
Like, honestly, he was only training naturally for like 6 months and then just went straight into it. Yeah. And like anyone else anyone else you put through that kind of shit, they would fucking crumble because they have no base.
Yeah.
But it worked for him.
Yeah, isn't it crazy,
just
right?
Like, worked for him.
And some people still like they can run heaps of gear and shit, and they don't get much results.
Yeah,
like,
but then there are people that do one cycle and fucking then you like Adonis. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good question.
Yeah.
Who knows, huh? Who knows?
Who knows, eh?
I'm gonna check my DM, guys, because I did put a story on my Instagram.
All-time favorite cheat meal?
Pizza.
Yeah, I like pizza too. You can't beat
pizza, ribs.
Right? What kind of pizza do you like? Domino's? I love Domino's pizza.
Yeah, Domino's. But I mean, if I was to go really fancy, I'd say fucking Italian with fried pizza with prosciutto.
Oh baby.
Oh.
If Chesty could choose any cycle to put Freezma on, what would that cycle be?
The same cycle that gave him gyno. What was that? Tren and Probe with no letrozole?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Tren and Probe with no letro.
I think, did I answer, there was one here before, it was like, would I ever touch gear again? I personally wouldn't.
I don't think you would.
Yeah. I don't need to, like, I've got no purpose for it,
I don't think you need to either.
Yeah. Like, naturally,
you're fine, bro.
I'm fine. I've been off gear for like 3 years now.
I don't think you need it at all. You need
obviously,
a tan,
obviously I'm not as big as I was. Yeah, I'm
definitely need a tan.
I'm a bit pasty at the moment. It's from New Zealand, man.
If you get the tan, that's it. You'll be on point.
Yeah.
Prime Provisional in my inbox.
Yeah.
Any recommendations on chest, because I have the bottom of my chest kind of hanging. Need to have a better chest, working very hard to look sculpted chesty. In terms of chest, like I tell everyone who asks, it's just the basic bread and butter. You want to do your decline exercises, your incline exercises. Like me personally, my chest workout would...
When you used to grow your chest to get it big in the first place?
I would train it twice a week, so I'll do weak point training. So any weak muscle group you have, I would highly, suggest you guys
2 times a week,
train it twice a week. Have a heavy day, and then at least have 2 days break before you train again, and have a light day. So for me, my chest was, the shape was pretty shit. It kind of looked like I had pectus excavatum, because it kind of was like caving in, because I was really skinny and my rib cage was popping. I was just a pretty small guy. So for me, like, chest and arms was one of the things I really wanted to grow. So I started training chest twice a week. Yeah. And with that, I saw dramatic results, like real quick. Like the difference in muscle groups. Even like, have you noticed when you train legs twice a week?
Yeah, I do. If you train legs twice a week.
I don't train legs twice a week, behind you. I barely train it once a week. But when
if you train your legs twice a week, they come up big.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Like they're coming up now, and I've been training them like really hard, like consistently for the last 2 months. But I mean, if you want any muscle group to grow, train them more frequently. It's as simple as that. And in terms of exercises, just your staple exercises, from your incline presses to your cable flies to your dumbbell pullovers, just the basics really. I mean, there's no real secret.
It's not.
Or real recipe to growing a chest. You just be consistent.
Presses. You just need most of your workout probably presses, and then finish with a couple of like holding tension, like either cables or, like you said, the pullovers of the dumbbell.
And again, I actually got my chest to grow from going really heavy.
Yeah.
I used to train really heavy for chest to get it to grow.
Yeah, okay.
Which I really didn't do for other muscle groups. Like I go really heavy on chest, and I've gone really heavy on back, and those are the two things that have grown the most when I've actually gone heavy. Yeah. So again, if you can, make sure you have a heavy day, and then allocate yourself.
I agree with that. I think it's good to do like a strength day, and then the next day you're more going 12 to 15 reps. Like,
of course,
getting a squeeze. So. Yeah, so I guess that'll probably end it for the questions, Jess. So your else this video will be fucking 3 hours
How long have we gone for?
A little while.
Okay guys, this is Chesty and Freezy signing out.
Signing out? Oh mate, another Gympsy's order. This has been a good time.
Look at that, perfect timing.
I was going to say something. Yeah guys, if you have any more questions, hit us in the comments below, I'll answer them. Maybe Chesty, do you want to come on from your YouTube channel and comment? Yeah, I'll be commenting some of the questions down below. So anything in the comments guys, if you want to see a future video or any future questions. Again, don't be shy with the questions. We love to answer them all. So yeah, down below, comment, subscribe, all the jazz, and we'll see you later. Your boy. Alright guys, see you guys in the next video. Yo.